So this is my Kitbash modified custom or whatever you want to call it G.I. Joe classified series rock and roll action figure. So this is my take on a G.I. Joe classified series rock and roll figure. Or if I were given free reign design of a rock and roll action figure, this is how it's going to be. Now if you're a traditionalist, you want the more traditional design, or you just can't think out of the box, then this is not the video for you. The base action figure used in this custom Kitbash modified or whatever you want to call it action figure is G.I. Joe classified series Stuart Outback Silker. Defining part of a character of an action figure is going to be the head unit. Now we cannot claim this action figure to be rock and roll unless it has the very definitive characteristic of the head sculpt of a full beard and the yellow hair. Okay, so the rock and roll character, a G.I. Joe rock and roll character I mean, is often depicted wearing a cap or a helmet. So utilizing the G.I. Joe classified series Outback head unit to convert this into a rock and roll head unit, you have to get rid of the hair. Now this very fancy looking hair on this head unit is actually removable this way. So I already demonstrated that with a previous video. So this part could be taken off. So either use a hair dryer or dunk this into really hot water, and this piece is going to disengage from the head sculpt. And after that, it's going to be your choice of whatever cap or helmet that you have on board to fit on this head unit. Now, if you're going to use a Action Force Valaverse helmet such as this, then you need to cut off material on the head unit. So it's going to be trimming out this section of the head sculpt, especially that blue tie. That's going to come off for you to have some sort of headgear or head cover on this head unit before painting the eyebrows and the beard yellow. So with regards to the paint material that you're going to use on the head sculpt, well, it's going to depend on the level of confidence that you have with regards to using paint or whatever paint material that you have. Since I'm a very uncomplicated guy, I don't want to use the most traditional way of paint or airbrush system. That is very fancy for me. I'll just rather have nail polish, and I'm going to use this rubber brush. So that is not your standard tip, that is rubber. So this is actually the one that I really use. So this is freshly cleaned, and after that nail polish has settled in, I'll just dab that paint, yellow paint, with a little bit of clear nail polish solution so as to protect the paint on the head sculpt. And that's the time that I'm going to apply or glue in the helmet or your head cover. We're not going to discuss articulation points on this action figure since this supports standard G.I. Joe classified series points of articulation. So drop legs and all sorts of articulation points that G.I. Joe classified series would give to a base G.I. Joe classified series body. Okay, so let's identify body parts first on this action figure. So let's start with the head unit, the head, the neck, G.I. Joe classified series Outback. The body, the arms, forearms, G.I. Joe classified series Outback. Now the handsets or the glove sets, those belong to G.I. Joe classified series Python Patrol Cobra Officer. So why change the glove sets on a Outback unit? Well, it's because the handsets on the original figure was just way too small for a very bulky guy such as Outback. So when you take a look at the arms, very bulky forearms, and with relation to ratio of the handsets that were included, and they are also gloved, it's just somehow way too small. So I swapped them out with a G.I. Joe Classified Series Python Patrol Cobra officer. So those bulky gloved hands somehow looks better on this action figure. Now the man briefs and the legs, those would come from G.I. Joe Classified Series Tiger Force Duke. So the only different part of the leg system is going to be the boots. Now this would come from G.I. Joe Classified Series Sergeant Stalker. So let's identify accessories on this action figure. So let's start with the brand Action Force Valvers. It's going to be the bump helmet, the night vision goggles, and the hearing protectors. Now all of the bags on the pistol belt or the pockets, that's going to come from Action Force Valvers. And the last Action Force Valvers item on this action figure is going to be the thigh mount for the pistol and the suppressor. Okay, so G.I. Joe Classified Series accessories. It's going to be the pistol belt with wire harness, Sergeant Stalker. The knife, Sergeant Stalker. The pistol and the suppressor and the holster, Sergeant Stalker. So with the weapon system, that's going to be Sergeant Stalkers. Now I already presented this in a previous video, so that comes with a minigun setup. So that's from a third party that I bought some place else. So in a other previous videos, I already showed this accessory. So the ammunition backpack and the ammo belt. So versatility of weapon system, just in case I want to change weapon systems. So from this to a minigun, that is possible. So I just swap this out and take in the accessories for the minigun set that I set up for this figure. So I already used this also with a Recondo figure, Sergeant Blaine Recondo figure video. So this minigun set has also transferred to this rock and roll action figure. So versatility in weapon platforms. So there you go. So from a more or less cyclic rate of fire to a more 1000 rounds per minute rate of fire, and then you're out of ammo. Okay, so just in case you want a change of setup, so we could still add another weapon system to this action figure. So we're just going to take off the minigun, the backpack, and we could swap this NECA weapon system on board. So the third weapon system that I have for these rock and roll action figures, so squad automatic weapon. So a more realistic design of a weapon system, because we really don't have a classification for this type of machine gun, but actually it really looks cool too with this action figure, and it's a belt fed system, so you could run the ammunition box to the end of the rifle this way, or the machine gun. So you could either choose this or this with this, and we still have that. And for stealth mode rock and roll, then we have the pistol with suppressor, night vision goggles, knife. And of course, what's the use of a pistol if you run out of ammunition? You have spare magazines. So why did I choose this color combination for the action figure? It's of course to match the vehicle that I'm going to pair this rock and roll figure with. So I found many G.I. Joe Classified Series Tiger Force Duke RAM cycle sets on clearance, so here you go. So this is my set for rock and roll. So if you like this video, for the love of play, like, comment, and subscribe to help me grow my channel. And see you on the next action figure or custom action figure review.